Thanks for stopping back by. I'm going to make some pancakes this morning. Don't that sound good? But like I said, I've got some belly issues to where I am trying to stay away from gluten as much as possible. So how are we going to have pancakes? We are going to have completely fermented sourdough pancakes. So I'm not going to add any flour this morning. This is coconut oil. I'm going to allow it to melt. It's always just a bit cool in the house. So my coconut oil is always solid. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to halve the recipe since it's just me, and I'm just going to make a couple of pancakes. So we are going to do a half a cup of starter, 1 egg, a 1/16 of a cup, so a good healthy tablespoonful of the coconut oil melted, and then half a tablespoon of honey, which is going to be about a teaspoon and a half of honey. We're going to do a pinch of salt and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And so I'm going to get the mix in, and then I will show you what it looks like and how it cooks up. Let's get the egg in here. I always do the egg first. I have farm fresh eggs from my chickens, so you always want to check them. I do have a rooster, so they could be fertilized, meaning they could be bloody. We always do the baking soda last. I don't know why I grabbed that. But we always do the baking soda last because it's going to create a froth. And that's really, really exciting. Okay. So this is a fed starter from yesterday. I fed it up yesterday. I was going to bake some bread today, and I made a little bit extra in case I wanted to do a casserole or some pancakes or whatever else. Okay. You can use unfed starter for pancakes because we are adding the baking soda and the egg, and that both gives it some rise. Okay. So a half a cup of starter. Okay. And then we're going to do about a teaspoon and a half of honey. If you don't want sweet pancakes, you can omit this part. Okay. Not about yay much. Good pinch of salt. I use Redmond's real salt. I like it better because it has all the other minerals that is supposed to be with your salt. But the traditional table salt, they strip all those minerals out, and they just give you the sodium and chloride. Got that all mixed up. Now this is a pretty thin pancake batter. So when we pour it in, we're going to turn it down a little bit. So, and then this oil is really warm, but it's not hot. But I'm still going to make sure I don't scramble my eggs. And then now we're going to do a 1/4 of a teaspoon. I don't have my teaspoons. Sorry. Got that. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm going to bring you closer so you can see. I want you to see how this responds to the baking soda. Okay. That is getting all frothy. I don't know if you can see that. All the bubbles starting to form in there. Okay. So in the meantime, get your skillet good and hot. And I always put a little butter down on my skillet. Okay, I have moved you over to the stove now because I want you to be able to watch the process of this. See how nice and frothy this pancake batter is? That is a piece of my coconut oil. Evidently I didn't get it all good and melted up. I'll give it a little bit more of a stir. Okay. So skillet is good and hot. Nice little amount of butter on there. And then we are going to slowly pour because it is thin. And you want it to sizzle. And by pouring it slowly, you allow it to bulk up a little bit because it's cooking as it hits that skillet. If you was to pour it fast, you'd have something on the line of a crepe. So because we added no extra flour, we only had fed starter, and the starter has been fermenting or rising or bubbling for about almost 20 hours or so. So that's how long of a ferment we have on our gluten. So that is going to pre-digest the gluten so that it is easier on our bellies. And then you just let it cook like a normal pancake, you know, like any other pancake. You let all the holes form, and then they'll bust, and it'll kind of get dry on top. That's when you flip it. Okay, it's almost ready. See how it's getting kind of dry around the edges? Lots of nice bubbles. What do you all put on your pancakes? Do you do powdered sugar, syrup, jelly? I made a really good cranberry sauce these past holiday seasons, and that was really good on it. The skillet was a bit hot, I should say here. So on this side, it's pretty much already cooked. You just want to brown it. And go from there. get our next one. Pull some of that butter in here. Good and slow. Got a little bit fast, that's why it ran. You can add also any kind of seasoning that you want in here. You can add some cinnamon and some nutmeg, maybe a little ginger, some apple pie spice. You could add blueberries and some lemon zest. You know, however you want to do your pancakes. This is just the basics. The basic pancake recipe. If you wanted a thicker pancake batter, and you don't have any kind of gluten issues, then you could totally add some more flour to it. You know, maybe do a teaspoon at a time until you got the consistency that you wanted, but it would also give a drier pancake. Just know that. Like I said, if you're going for a crepe, there you go. But it's totally fine. It'll still eat. When they're big like this, let them go ahead and get a little drier. You know, a little more cooked through. Because that right there will not flip. It took me a few times to understand to pour it slowly. It's nice for you to see, though, what happens when you do pour it fast and how to handle that. Okay, see how quickly it browns? Nice and good. Make sure that's good and cooked through. Okay. And that's what's for breakfast. So here are the finished pancakes. I put a little maple syrup on there. I got my coffee here. So good and so much easier on your belly. Very healthy version of pancake. Super easy and quick. All you got to do is feed up your starter. Well, you don't even have to feed up your starter the night before. You can use a weak starter for this because it does have the egg and the baking soda in it. But so you can whip this up quick for the kids. Get them started on their way with something good on their belly. Okay, well, another sourdough recipe down. I hope you all enjoy it. Let me know if you make it. Thanks.